If you're successful on paper but feel empty inside, if you have the title, the income, the respect, but sometimes still feel like something's missing, if you're secretly asking yourself, is this all there is? This video is for you. I'm Ferreira, and I work with high-achieving women who look like they have it all together on the outside, but on the inside, they're falling apart. And here's what I want you to know is true. You are not broken. You are not being ungrateful. And you are definitely not alone. So let's talk about why this happens, and more importantly, what you can do about it. So here's the thing. Almost every woman I work with, whether she's a CEO, a VP, an entrepreneur, or a high-level executive, at some point in our first conversation, she says some version of this. She'll say, I have everything I thought I wanted. The career, the money, the lifestyle. People look at my life and think I have it all figured out. But Patty, I feel so empty, and I feel terrible for even saying this out loud, because I should be grateful. I should be happy. What's wrong with me? Can you relate to that? Because if you can, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing is what I call the success to satisfaction gap. You've achieved external success, the promotions, the accolades, the bank account, the impressive resume, but internally you feel disconnected, exhausted, like you're performing a role instead of actually living your life. And here's the truth that nobody talks about. The way you were taught to succeed is the exact thing keeping you unfulfilled. Let me say that again. The way you were taught to succeed through hustle, self-sacrifice, proving your worth, grinding, never slowing down, is the very thing preventing you from feeling satisfied. Now, I know this because I lived it. I was that person. For years, I was the epitome of external success. Corporate management, Fortune 500 projects, multi-million-dollar deals. I checked every box, climbed every ladder, did everything right, or so I thought, and I was miserable. I was exhausted all the time. I had anxiety attacks. I couldn't even shake. I kept thinking, once I get to the next level, then I'll feel good. Then I'll be able to rest. Then I'll be happy. But that day never came. Because here's what I didn't understand then that I know now. External achievement can never fill an internal void. And as I was realizing that, my mother got sick and she passed away, and my entire world came tumbling down. In the darkest moment of my life, I had this realization, and I started to ask all these questions. I spent decades building a life that looked successful outside, and I completely abandoned myself inside. I had sacrificed my health, my peace, my relationships, my joy, all in service of a version of success that was never designed to fulfill me. And in that moment, I made a choice. And my choice was to leave corporate. I started over, and I devoted myself to understanding why so many high-achieving women like myself live this way. And what I discovered changed everything. So why does this happen? Why do successful women feel so empty? Here are the three main reasons that I found. Number one, you've been conditioned to seek validation externally. From a young age, you were taught that your worth is tied to your achievements. Good grades, good girl. Promotions is a proof that we matter. Success means that you're valuable. So you keep achieving, thinking the next milestone will finally make you feel worthy. But worthiness doesn't come from external validation. It comes from internal alignment. Number two, we've been built for success on sacrifice. We were taught that success requires sacrifice. The rest is weakness. Boundaries are selfish, and putting ourselves first is indulgent. So you gave and gave and gave to your career, your team, your family, everyone, until there was nothing left for you. And now you're running on empty, wondering why you feel so depleted. Number 3, you've been performing success instead of living it. We've learned how to look successful, how to show up as a competent woman, the capable one, the smart one, the one who's got it all together. But underneath that performance, we're exhausted, disconnected, and lost. Because performing success is not the same as actually living it. And here's what's so important to understand. None of this is your fault. You were taught this. You were conditioned into this. These patterns were handed to you by a culture that values productivity over peace, achievement over alignment, and external success over internal fulfillment. But just because you were taught this way doesn't mean you have to keep living this way. So what's the answer? How do you bridge the gap between success and satisfaction? That's what I want to introduce to you today, because that's what's matter. How do we get to the other side of this? I call it the 5 codes of self-love. These codes were given to me during my own journey of awakening, and they have become the foundation of how I help high-achieving women stop performing success and start truly, profoundly living it. Let me walk you through these codes really quickly. So, code number 1 is self-awareness. This is where you start to pause. You look at your life, your patterns, your beliefs, your behaviors without judgment. You collect the data, you see the truth, because you can't change what you can't see. Self-awareness is about becoming a compassionate observer of your own life, so you can understand what's really been running underneath everything. Second, self-acceptance. This is where you embrace all of you. The good, the bad, the messy, the imperfect. You stop trying to fix yourself and start accepting yourself. Because here's the truth. There is nothing wrong with you. Self-acceptance is about remembering who you were before the world told you who you should be, and falling back in love with that version of yourself. Code number 3 is self-care. And I don't mean bubble baths and face masks. I mean real self-care, where you put yourself first, setting boundaries, saying no without guilt, honoring your needs before everyone else's. Self-care is about understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and finally giving yourself permission to fill your cup first. Code number 4 is self-trust. This is where you rebuild confidence in yourself. You learn to trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust that you have everything you need within yourself. Self-trust is about believing that you are ready, you are capable, and everything is happening for you, not to you. And the last code, number 5, self-actualization. This is where it all comes together. You step into a full self-expression, your purpose, your power, your authentic life. Self-actualization is where you stop performing and start living, where you build a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. Now, these 5 codes, self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-care, self-trust, self-actualization, are the path from where you are now to where you're meant to be. But here's the key. Most programs give you strategies or mindset work or spiritual practices. But what I've learned after years of coaching high-achieving women is this. You need all 3 working together. That's why I use what I call the triple layered approach. Layer number 1 is strategic alignment. This is the business brain you already trust, the practical solution finding strategic leadership skills you're exceptional at, aligned with what actually matters to you. The mindset expansion. This is where we dismantle the limiting beliefs, the perfectionism, the imposter syndrome, the self-doubt that's been running your decisions without you realizing it. And the third layer, energy management. This is the intuitive wisdom you've been ignoring, your body's intelligence, your nervous systems, learning to lead from your truth instead of from fear. When these three layers work together, strategy, mindset, and energy, everything shifts. You stop chasing success at the cost of yourself. You stop performing and you start living. This is how you accelerate your success with fulfillment, not at the cost of you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Patty, this sounds great and it's all good, but I don't even know where to start. I get it. And that's why I created something for you to take advantage of in this moment. We're kicking off what I'm calling the season of self-love. And it starts with a free 21-day self-love challenge. For 21 days, I'm going to guide you through practical, powerful exercises based on these 5 codes. Each day, you'll get a prompt, a practice, and a perspective shift. This isn't about adding more to your to-do list. This is about coming home to yourself, coming inward. And here's what I know to be true. When you commit to 21 days of intentional self-love, everything starts to shift. Your relationships improve, your confidence grows, your clarity deepens, your life transforms, not because you're doing more, but because you're finally aligned with who you actually are. Okay, so the link to join the 21-day season of self-love challenge is in the description below. It's completely free and it starts this week, just in time for Valentine's Day. Because this year you're choosing yourself. You are your own Valentine. Now, if you're someone who wants to go even deeper, if you want ongoing support, community, and guidance as you walk through these 5 codes with the triple layered approach, I'd love to invite you to join Awakened and Rising. It's my membership community for high achieving women who are done settling and ready to build success that doesn't cost them their peace. For $30 a month, you get weekly live office hours with me, where we work all 3 layers: strategy, mindset, and energy management. A private community of women doing this work alongside you, with tools, resources, and teachings based on the 5 codes. And you have access to my Awaken Your Codes of Self-Love signature workshop. This is where we bring the business brain you trust, the mindset work you need, and the energetic practices that actually work all together. You can find the link in the description. But whether you join the membership or not, please join the 21-day challenge. It will change your life. So here's what I want you to know. You are not broken for feeling this way. You are not ungrateful, and you are not asking for too much. You are simply waking up to the truth that external success alone will never fulfill you. And that awakening, that's the beginning of everything. So if you're ready to stop performing success and start living it, if you're ready to bridge the gap between achievement and fulfillment, I'm here to walk with you. Join the 21-day challenge, subscribe to this channel for more videos on the 5 codes of self-love and more, and let's make this the season you finally choose yourself. So, I'll see you next video and next week. Welcome to Awakened and Rising. Oh.